I wanted to introduce you all tonight. I'm really excited to. This is like the fun part of my job is getting to hang out with people like you. But this is
I don't see
Tammy
it.
Beebe. And for those of you that don't know her, she has been the owner of BB Artistry for quite some time. I know we've been connected for a long time. I've been following you for a long time, and I know that you also, have a blended family of, 7 kids, and you've moved around a lot, and life is busy. And so I can't wait for you to kind of share with everybody, what we're going to talk about tonight. So thanks.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you, Lee. You're so sweet. And I've been following you for a while. So I'm your secret stalker
Yeah,
because
I
you
love
are amazing in your own right. And I just really, first of all, just want to say thank you. It's such an honor to be on here tonight and just be talking about one of my most favorite things in the world, which is custom blends. So thank you for having me. And yes, you're right. My husband and I, we're a blended family, and we do have 7 kids, and they're all scattered around. And we only have one that lives with us full time right now. So thank you, Jesus. And he's a freshman this year. Yeah, I love custom blend, and I have been doing it for, let's see, going on almost 7 years now. I can't even believe that. But I have worked in the industry, the beauty industry, off and on, gosh, for 25 years. So I'm dating myself a little bit. But
Me too, girl. That's okay. We've got lots of experience.
yes, I have a lot of experience in a lot of jobs. Let me just say, sometimes makeup and the beauty industry was part-time. Sometimes it was, on the side hustle, and now it's full-time. But in between that time, had a lot of regular jobs and a lot of jobs that were a little irregular. So, and I probably wouldn't want to do again. But you do what you got to do.
Exactly. I know there. So, like, tell us a little bit, more about your background. Like you say, you have, 25 years experience. Like, how did you get started in the industry?
So honestly, I just had a passion for cosmetics. I grew up watching my mom, put her makeup on every day, and I was just fascinated with it. And she never missed a day, and she just had this routine, and I just thought that was amazing. And so this was, again, I'm dating myself, before internet, before all that stuff. We had to buy magazines and books, and so I started, getting Cosmopolitan and all the different ones, looking at makeup and that kind of thing. But I did get a break. In the industry. I just had somebody who believed in me and approached me and said, would you be interested in doing makeup? He was a professional photographer. Would you be interested in doing makeup? Pro bono, it might get you some work, that kind of thing. And long story short, it ended up being a really great opportunity for me. And I just kind of went from there and decided, yeah, I really love doing this. I love the transformation process. And for me, the big payoff was seeing my client after seeing them before come in and kind of their demeanor, and then having an opportunity to really do something creative and give them typically a more polished version of themselves, and seeing them light up in the chair and be thrilled to go out and show their face off. So that was kind of my payoff. And then I came across Custom Blend and found that there could be even a bigger payoff financially. So I jumped into that. But yeah, I've done makeup for quite a while, and for film and weddings and bar mitzvahs and proms, but I've really really enjoyed it.
So you kind of touched on it a little bit, but I'd like to learn a little bit more about how were you introduced to this custom blend, which is nicely displayed behind you. I love that.
Thank you. Well, we just moved into this house, and so this is the only thing that's really put together right now.
It looks really nice.
It's like the first thing I did when we moved. I'm like, we got to get the custom blend up because that's the bread and butter here. Yeah, how I was introduced to it, we actually were living on the island of Oahu, and I was working there doing makeup artistry, and I was also performing there, doing some other things. But I went I would say, if I answered an ad for a makeup show. Somebody was doing like a makeup kind of trade show and showcasing new cosmetics. And I, being a makeup artist, was always interested in something new, wanted to see, well, what's new, new in Hawaii. So I went and I met with the young lady, and the first thing I always do is check out the foundations, because
Mhm.
for a woman who wears makeup, like that's the biggest challenge, is finding that right foundation. And so I was like, where's your foundations? I'm checking those out first. And so she showed me kind of what they had with motives. And then we got to chatting, and she found out I was a makeup artist. And she said, oh, if you're a makeup artist, then you want to see this. And then she showed me the kit that's behind me. And I said, what is that? Is that what I think it is? Because I had been dreaming of a way to create, foundations from scratch for many years. Because as a makeup artist, and even people who aren't makeup artists, we do that at home, right? So you get a foundation that's close, and then you get another one that's close, and then you kind of mix those together sometimes and like do your thing. So you're already a mixologist. So
Right.
just know you can do
So
this.
true.
You're already doing it. So that's what I got excited about, because I thought I'm already doing that, and I couldn't replicate it for my clients. And I would have a lot of clients say, oh, I just wish I could get this beautiful, this my skin's never looked like this. And I'd say, oh, I'm sorry, I just mixed 5 foundations for you. I don't know how I did it. But now I can create that from scratch with a recipe and keep it exact every single time. And if we ever need to change it, we can. So I kind of lost my mind when I saw this. I couldn't sleep. I came home and was talking crazy with my husband. And
I love that. Oh my gosh, I love it. So that was really like how you found it, and you were like, wow, like I can just create so many different things with this, and doesn't matter who my client is, I can definitely make, the perfect match for them, perfect formula, perfect, whatever it
absolutely.
is.
Yeah, and my husband actually was the one who kind of sealed the deal with me doing this as a business, or like sealed it in within my own mind, because I freaked out when I first saw it. And I told the young lady there, I said, if I just plopped down, I said, make me one right now. And if this is as amazing as I think it is, you're gonna have a partner. And so she made me one, and I went home, and my husband, is his background is not in this industry at all. So he thought a lipstick was actually one of the sticks, the lip pencils. He thought that was a lipstick. And so no, knew nothing about this. But I came home and just going crazy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I went to this trade show, and there's this new makeup, and I think I want to do it as a business, and I want to incorporate it, and blah blah blah. And he's like, that's nice. And so I didn't tell him that, when I was going to wear that new foundation. And he's used to seeing me dolled up, like, full glam makeup all the time anyway. And so, he was used to that. But the day that I wore it for the first time, he was driving me to work actually. And I was all dolled up for a wedding. So I had the lashes, the whole thing. And he's driving me, and he's doing this, like, and I'm like, what? And he said, do you have that new makeup you told me? Are you wearing that makeup? And I'm like, why? Like, he never says anything about makeup. And I'm like, why? And then he was so cute, because he was real careful with his words, because he said, well, you always do a really good job. But
Like,
sometimes,
he noticed.
and he goes like this, he goes, sometimes and then he stopped himself, and he goes, can I touch your skin? He wanted to touch my skin. He
Oh
said,
wow.
and he said specifically, he said, I know that you have makeup on because I can see it on your eyes and on your lips. But he said, but your skin, he said, do you have anything on your skin? I, of course, really lost my mind at that point. I was like, oh, I am doing this.
That says a lot, because like most guys are not gonna notice that kind of thing at all. So that like speaks volumes right there.
Yeah, that blew my mind, because, like I said, that was not his background at all. And now, of course, he knows more about custom blend and makeup than any man
Oh
ever.
really? Oh, I love that. I love
But
that.
he can tell me any day, because I can tell somebody, women expect other women to lie to them about cosmetics. And so I can tell them, oh, that looks perfect on you. It's your color. And women go, okay. And then he can say the same thing. And
Yeah.
they're like, give me 20 of them.
Yeah, that is so true. I've experienced that too in the industry in general.
Yeah.
But I love that, is such a cute story. I absolutely love that. And I like that he's kind of more involved in it now. So I know that you found Custom Blend. But what's really great about you and your story is, you were really able to kind of turn that into a nice financial, a good income, you know, just really leveraging the custom blend system. So tell us about, what that looked like, because obviously you found it because you're like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing product. However, then you also found that it could be a great income.
Yeah, absolutely. And so here's what I know about business, any business that you're in. And this is what I fully embraced when I saw this process was that, and again, this is for anybody, whether you're in the beauty industry or whatever industry you're in. If you can solve a problem for someone, you will never lack for clients and you will never lack for income if you can solve a problem. And so I knew as a makeup artist and just a woman who wears makeup, this solved a problem in the industry that was not being taken care of. You could always get close, you could never get perfect. And so with that, I just kind of ran with that and I thought, I'm going to be a problem solver. Every woman I know, most of them don't like their foundation or they're not crazy about it. So I would just talk to women about, and it's a very easy conversation to have. I just would ask them, what's your favorite foundation? What do you wear? Do you wear foundation? And I just had a conversation with anybody and everybody, my friends, my family, people I didn't know. I would go to Walmart and be in the makeup aisle, just in the makeup aisles, hoping to talk to somebody, like because I knew that I could solve a problem for them. And so we get to chatting about it. And I just always would tell them, if you love what you're wearing, like it's hitting all the marks for you, then definitely keep doing that. But if not, let's talk because I can make you something perfect that you will love. And so I took that and just kind of ran with it and got this in front of as many women as I could at a time, whether that be all in a ladies group or in a home group or, however I could do it. And it really became a business that just really got out of control really, really fast. And to the degree that I actually ended up having to train my own husband, who wanted nothing to do with makeup originally, on how to just fill reorders for me. And so he was doing the reorders and I was doing the initial blending because it's a recipe. If you can
Right.
follow the recipe, you can fill the reorder. So and then it became just a real blessing to us in a pretty dark time, in our life after that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that he can just like mix up, but like you said, I had to have my husband do that too when I was traveling because people needed refills and I was like, can you? But yeah, once you have the recipe, that's absolutely awesome. And I loved what you would say to people too. Hey, that's okay if you really love what you're using, but if you
Right.
don't, I can make you something that you'll love.
Absolutely. And I would never try to talk anybody out of something that they absolutely are in love with. Nobody wants to be talked into buying something that they feel like they don't want or they don't need.
Exactly.
But because we can offer custom anything that you can dream up pretty much, um, you know, you can work with them. And I just always let them know, look, when you're out of what you are using, give this a try. And
Yeah.
if you don't love it, I'll make it right. That was kind of my tagline. And I always try to make it right for somebody. If they don't love it, we adjust it or we get a different product or whatever the case. But
Yeah.
you just kind of be a problem solver and work with them. And it's a lot of fun too. Creating is a lot of fun. And so I always tell my clients, if somebody compliments you on your skin when you're wearing your custom makeup and they say, oh, your skin looks so beautiful, like say,
Yeah.
thanks, I made it. And then you have a new conversation, you have a referral.
I love that too. And I love that because not a lot of clients know that there's something out there like what we have, and foundation seems to be that one thing that people just can't find either their match, or they don't like the coverage, or they don't like the finish, or it breaks them out, or whatever it is. So to be able to offer that, like you said, like just be that solutionist and provide them for what they're looking for.
Absolutely. There's always, like you said, something typically in their foundation. And that's why I focused on foundation because I knew that was the biggest issue. You can usually find eyeshadows you like or lippies you like, and blushes, those kind of things. But that foundation, it's a lifelong search. And so when you can end that for someone, and no matter if their skin changes or if the color of their skin changes or whatever, you can make that adjustment, because that's typically what happens, right? When we buy foundation, we may find one we absolutely love on every level, but then our skin changes
Mm-hmm.
and we can't tolerate that formula, or they change the formula a little bit and then now our skin can't handle it, or they discontinue the color, or
Yeah.
and so you have all these issues. And now with custom foundation, we can solve that. And yeah, and it's just such a great money maker. And I've been part of companies off and on for years, network marketing companies and those kinds of things. But nowhere in any of those companies, and they were all, really had their great benefit. But nowhere in the companies was I ever able to find something like this where I could make instant money right now, and it was residual cash money. So a lot of companies will tout that, you get the residual income after you build up the network a while and you're in the company 2 to 5 years or whatever.
Yeah.
But this was instant, and it was residual because they can only get their custom recipe from you, which is a good thing. So it just
Yeah.
keeps going.
And so that's kind of like my next question is, I know that you've kind of had quite the adventure, over the last few years with moving and starting fresh in new places. But I also know that one thing that's been constant for you and your business is, obviously your motives business and being able to continue to, you know, service your existing clients, but also getting new clients where you move. So, do you want to just kind of talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So yes, we have moved a lot. And by a lot, I mean this, just to give you an idea. In the last 2 years, and I won't go way into why, but in the last 2 years, we have moved 6 times. And that includes temporary housing. So, because to me, that's a move, right? You got to
It
move
is.
all your stuff
I
up
would
there and
say.
to move it out.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and that's just in the last 2 years. And so it's been a lot, just that in itself. But yes, the great thing about custom blend, again, like I'm singing its praises, but um, everything changed for me every time I moved, right? But nothing changed for my clients because I have their recipe sheet. I have everything that they need and that they want, and I have it all on that client form. And so it goes with me. And literally when we moved, every time we get on the plane, I had my locked client, like they walked on the plane with me.
Oh,
That's my bread and butter. And those are my people. And I take care of my people. So they went on the plane in my carry-on, and they went with me. And I made sure to contact them all and say, look, I just want to let you know I'm relocating. Don't freak out. Nothing changes for you. You're still going to get your great custom blend, and I'm still got everything for you, but things are changing for me. I'm getting a new
yeah.
location. Sometimes it put me closer to them, sometimes farther away, but in a new town, which I've been to many, new town, no family, no friends. This is also a great way to meet people and to take to salons. And I would walk in a lot of times just cold calling with my little brag book of my before and afters and say, is the owner in? And a lot of times they're like, they think you're trying to sell them something. And I'm like, no, I don't have anything to sell. I just, to sell you, I just want to ask, do you have a makeup artist on staff? And I didn't care what their answer was. If they didn't, great, I'm your new makeup artist.
Yeah.
And if not, great, you need to see what I have, if they had a makeup artist. So I'm like, great, you need to see what I have. But yeah, that's one way that we did it. And of course, I also started blending virtually, online, and doing mail order blending as well.
So tell us about that. So when you moved, you kind of contacted your, existing clients and said, I'm moving, nothing changes. I have your formula. So when they need a refill, you just mix it up, pop it in the mail, and send it out to them.
I do. And for my clients, I don't charge shipping on anything that I hand make. So if I hand make it in my studio, I don't charge shipping for it. So as long as you stay in the US, and they tend to like that, and it's real easy, and they can just call me up, text me, social media, message me, whatever, and just say, hey, I need another one. And I say, hey, do you need any adjustments? Yes. More shimmer? No. More moisturizer, whatever, and just send it off. And I have what I believe is a really good referral program. So that also keeps you from having to do a lot of cold calling. And it's just all word of mouth, really. I haven't, other than just kind of business cards and things like that, I really don't pay for my marketing and that kind of thing. I don't have a big marketing budget. I just take a lot of photographs because I don't really like to sell, and I don't think people really like to be sold to.
Right.
So I always take before and afters,
Mhm.
always. Now, not always do my clients let me use it on social media, and they have to sign a waiver if they let me,
Yes.
but I always take them and I always give them, I put the little collage together and give it to the client and let them know, look, share this with your people, with your friends, your mom, your sister, whatever. And for every 2 new custom blend clients you send me, I'll give you a free custom blend. And it
Love
just, people love free. That's their favorite price usually. So it
I love
works.
that. So you actually like text them the picture and then they just have it on their
Absolutely.
phone and they can show their friends and kind of brag about it. I love that. That's a brilliant idea.
I just say show, don't sell. I'm from Missouri originally, and we're the show me state, so maybe that's where I get it. I don't know.
I love that. So, what advice do you have to offer those who are kind of new to doing the custom blend virtually, or like doing business virtually? Like, what advice do you have for them?
So virtually, I would say if you're working online only and exclusively, definitely you're going to want to, I think, build a business page. I didn't initially start off with a business page. I started with a Facebook, just a personal page like most people, and then realized I didn't want to drive my friends and family crazy with only business posts. So if you only have your one page, make sure that you do kind of the 80-20 rule,
Yeah.
where 80% of what you post is just about you and, your family, your dog, your whatever. And then 20% is just about kind of your business and what you do. Because, you see it. We all get on Facebook, and usually within the first 5 minutes, we're either depressed or we're annoyed. And I just didn't want to be that girl. So don't be that girl.
Be
Oh,
that girl.
I don't know if you can hear that. We have severe weather here, so I'm hoping we.
I know we're crossing our fingers that the broadcast is going to continue as planned. No, I love that. So, I mean, going like when you do it virtually too, though, do you actually like do a Zoom or FaceTime with the person, or tell us about that process?
So it depends on the person and how comfortable they are talking to me. Because if it's a total stranger, sometimes they don't want to talk to me on the phone. And so if they reach out to me as a total stranger, then I always ask them, would you be comfortable talking to me on the phone? And my caveat is because I can talk much faster and more accurately than I can type. So we can get through a lot more stuff a lot quicker if you'll talk to me on the phone. And plus, they can't detect tone on a text, which I hate. So
Great.
I want them to understand I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just need to get some information so I can help you understand what this is, and then you can make a better decision for yourself. So I just give a lot of information. So I try to get them on the phone, and if not, then my second go-to is voice clips. And I don't know if you know about that, but you can do that on Facebook Messenger, and you can hold either a little thumb down on the microphone and talk, and it'll record it for you. And so then they can hear your voice, but it's kind of like a little walkie-talkie action.
Right.
And then I usually message as a last resort, but I just ask, I do the same thing that I do like when they're in person. I ask a lot of questions, on the sheet, but a little more detailed so that they kind of have an understanding about what sheer coverage means. It means I can see everything on your skin through this makeup. Medium coverage means I can see muted stuff, muted redness, have that kind of conversation. And then I have them send me payment and a picture of their face, actually several pictures, but I make sure to tell them it has to be in natural light. So like this kind of situation, it's not going to work. I need it to be daylight, not bright light. And just go stand on your porch or sit in your car, nothing on your skin. And I need to see from here to here and a profile. And then I just have them send them to me. And I immediately will say, yep, this is perfect. I can use this. And then I take that and blow it up on my computer and match that against everything they said that they wanted and needed in their makeup and mail it off.
I remember something that you said one other time, that you actually have your client records and then you put them in plastic sleeves, and then you actually like do a swatch of it on there too, so that the next time you blend, you can make sure that it's
Yeah, I have a visual. Yeah, I want to have a visual. I'm a visual learner. And so I do. You're right. You're absolutely right. I do. I just get those, sleeve, the
Yeah,
paper protectors or the plastic. I should have pulled one out, but yeah, just sleeve protectors, and I keep them all in there. And so everything that happens for that client, every formula. So basically, if they get a lippy made or whatever, everything goes in that sleeve.
I
And
love
so
that.
I don't leave anything for them specifically. And yeah, I always do swatches of everything because I want to have a visual for myself.
I
Yeah.
love that. So my next question kind of is to then, so once you kind of get the picture and you kind of blow it up, because I know this comes up a lot. So you're just kind of looking at their skin tone and just guessing, what to mix in there as far as colors and
Right. And here's another good tip too, that I have started doing about halfway into doing this. I started realizing like, okay, so I would ask them about what they're wearing now. So tell me the name of the brand, the color if you have it, and what you love about it and what you don't love about it. And so if they tell me I love the color, then I know, okay, so we're going to be close to this color because they really love it. And so then you can look that up online and see what color that is, and and kind of do a comparison on that level. But it's just really, I think, about having a really good conversation with them, because that's what I tell my clients. I'm like, we're going to talk a lot before I ever mix anything,
right.
because the more I know right from the beginning, the more perfect the match I can get for you. Now, it might take a couple, 3 blends to get the additives right, because you got to wear the makeup a while before you know if you need more moisturizer in it. But to nail that color and that coverage and everything, I want to talk a lot. I want to talk about what's important to you, what you love about what you're wearing, what you don't love, and try to, be a good listener.
And I would think that people do appreciate that because people want to be heard. And, unfortunately, we don't get that a lot when we do want something. It's like, oh, here, 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 instead of like really listening and asking us the right questions. So I think that that right there really helps you a lot. And like you said, then you can get it good right off the bat. And I'm sure that there aren't many times where you have to redo something, right? I mean, I would think that you're pretty close.
No, I'm really blessed. And that just goes to show you how great this product really is. And I mean, honestly, if you feel like you may be looking at this and like, God, that looks like a lot of stuff, I don't think I can manage that. Honestly, 3 colors. If you can learn 3 colors and you can be coachable and you love people, like, you can do this. And you are right. I very rarely ever have had anybody send back to me for color adjustments. Now, they might, if they get a tan, like if they get their summer tan and then they'll say, oh, I'm darker now. Can I send you this blend back and you adjust it? Or can I wait for a new one? But very rarely do I have anybody send it back and say, this color is just way off. Because if you have that good conversation with them, you have that mutual understanding about what they're looking for, you can get nearly perfect, if not perfect. And most women, to to decompress the frustration and anxiety, most women are already used to wearing the wrong color. So, and they're holding it up to the light at Walmart, the fluorescent, and saying, this looks pretty good. So
Yeah.
anything you do with a photograph of their bare naked face to color match that is going to be a far better product for them. Not even to mention all the incredible ingredients that we have that are naturally based. It's just going to be, they're going to love it. And if they don't, you can always adjust it for them.
Exactly. They're never stuck with it. And I think that that's the other thing too. Like you said, going into summer, they might get a tan, or going into winter, they might get more pale, and you can go ahead and adjust it for them if they have enough left. And, I think people appreciate that too. We all have all that stuff that we used a few times and then we kind of shove it away and don't use it again. So to be able to have that ability as well. So, I mean, I just know that you're like still killing it with custom blend even through moving. I think you just moved again like just a few months ago. So, you know, has your income continued to come in, like even though you have moved pretty significantly?
That's a great question. And in fact, my income continues to come in. And my team has actually grown exponentially through the COVID crisis
Mm.
because people are looking to work from home, and they're looking for some answers on that level. And it's just been such a blessing from God. I'm a woman of faith, and so I entrust everything that I do to the Lord, and I want His blessing on it. But we had a very dark time in our life a few years back, where my husband was very, very ill and could not work, and he was basically bedridden for about 5 months. And I was working in another area, and long story short, this income from just custom blend carried our family of 3, and then my mother-in-law moved in with us for a short time, so basically of 4. And I know everybody's magic number is different, so I don't want to throw a bunch of
Oh,
numbers
yeah.
in there, but I can tell you it took care of our family in ways that nothing ever did, and it was just such a blessing. And that's why I can't say enough good things about it. And especially right now with so many people looking for opportunities, this is something to seriously look into if you are in need of an instant cash flow. And you don't have to be a makeup artist to learn how to do it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. We do have trainings where we can teach anybody about color theory and how to blend using the system. I mean, I have to say that we really do have it down pat, where it's like step by step on how to teach people how to blend. And you're so right. I mean, the income is great with it. And whatever your goals or your needs are, you can definitely make it happen with just custom blend for sure.
Bet.
Appreciate you sharing that. So, any other advice you want to share before we wrap up?
Oh gosh, I would say, if you have questions about anything you heard tonight, definitely don't make any decisions till you get those questions answered. But um, whatever you do, I think take time to invest in yourself, especially if you're looking for some supplemental income or even something that could potentially retire you and be passed down to your children. Because my clients are already asking me, like, what happens if something happens to you? They want their blends. So I'm like, don't worry, it's a recipe. My husband knows he can do it. My son can do it. They're all gonna do it. But I would say take time to invest in you, because you're a sure bet, right? You're not gonna quit on yourself, hopefully. And figure out, why you do what you do. If you are in this business, make sure you understand why you're doing this. And I am doing this. Initially I did it to be a problem solver and to make some money, and now it's become so much bigger than that because I saw how it really changed my family's financial life, especially in a time where my husband couldn't work. And so now my why is my family. Yeah. And making sure that no matter what happens, we have a situation where we can take care of ourselves. And as silly as it sounds, makeup is the thing for me, and it's $1 trillion industry, and now my husband's totally on board with all of it. He's like, oh, you build a studio, do whatever you need to do. So but I would say, yeah, if you're feeling a little frustrated, if you're already in this and you feel like you haven't made any progress, do some more training, invest in yourself, and you won't regret it.
Yeah, I love that. Well, I appreciate you taking time out tonight to be here for everybody, and I know that you inspire me. And I know that you're inspiring everybody else watching. And I'm glad it worked out even with the storm tonight. So we're blessed that that happened, because I just really wanted everybody to hear your story, because we all obviously are in different places in our lives and we all have different goals, but it's pretty cool to have a system that can really help you achieve all of it, any of it, whatever it is for you. So, and thank you everybody for joining us. But thank you so much, Tammy. And I hope that we can get together in person
right
soon. I know I would love to see you. I know I just missed you. I think I kind of ran into you in Miami real quick.
Yeah, it was like
but it was like,
it was crazy.
Yeah, it was too quick. So
it was. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor, truly it is. And like I said, I want to tell everybody about it because it's just been such a blessing in my life. And I just want to encourage everybody, if you see an opportunity in this for yourself in any way, please get with somebody and get your questions answered, because this really could be life-changing for you.
Yeah, definitely reach out to the person that invited you to watch this. Or, you can reach out to our social media team or just go to motivescosmetics.com. We do have a custom blend survey on there as well if you want to check it out. But there's so many different ways, but get your questions answered. Take a good look at it. You're so right. I mean, like, what do you have to lose by just looking at what we have to offer?
You can always go back to what didn't work before.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you. And like I said, we're blessed to have you. And I appreciate you and have a good rest of your night.
All right, you too. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.